Hello, so today we're going to go over Goblin Valley State Park, which is one of the state parks in Utah where they allow you to fly drones. Now, most of this footage I took a few years ago, so the footage is still valid, but as I went through the Goblin Valley website, I found that some of the policies have changed and, in my opinion, not for the better. So anyway, I'll go through Goblin Valley State Park, but I'm just finding it a little bit disconcerting that after a few years pass, it seems like the deals for drone flyers are getting worse and worse throughout the world, and I find this disappointing. I've been flying drones for about 12, 13 years now, and I remember kind of the good old days when you could grab your Phantom 2 Vision Plus and kind of head wherever you wanted and fly it, and those days seem to be gone. So anyway, Goblin Valley is still worth going to, but it's not as good as it was when I went there a few years ago. All right, so let me go over what I know about Goblin Valley State Park from the position of a dronist. So this is a nice little state park kind of in the center of Utah, way out in the middle of nowhere. And it's called Goblin Valley because, as the name implies, there are a bunch of sandstone goblins all around. And these goblins were created when a denser and tougher kind of column of sandstone was deposited, and the sandstone around it was much weaker and was therefore blown away by the wind and washed away by rivers over thousands and thousands of years. So it's a desert environment. You've got to be sure to bring water and things like that. And it's very, very nicely located near canyon lands and arches and places like that. So it's a really nice place to stop for a day or two during your trip through Utah. You can see where it is located here, just north of Hanksville. And Hanksville is an interesting little town. You can stay overnight there if you want, or if you have a trailer like we did, you just pull into Goblin Valley and stay there for a while. Now, as you notice here, the drone regulations have changed, and yeah, they have. Not for the better, if you ask me. I flew here, last time I flew here was a few years ago, and it was much more open. Now, you can just pause on this page if you want to see this, or you can just go to the Goblin Valley State Park webpage, but you've got busy season, you've got off season, you've got a certain number of drone permits being given away, and woohoo! This is much different than when I was here, when it was basically show up with your drone, pay for your drone permit, and have a good time. So anyway, as with many things in the drone world, this is going downhill. So this is the area where you can fly your drone now. And you notice that, unfortunately, this drone area skips a whole lot of the places that provide really beautiful drone flying opportunities. And so anyway, as I said before, it's not as wide open as it was before, and that was a little bit disappointing to me. So, for example, of these pictures that you're about to see, the majority of these would be illegal now because these areas have been closed off to drone flying. And again, I still commend the Utah State Park system for actually allowing drone flying, as opposed to some of the state parks which ban it completely. But these regulations don't seem to be going in the right direction, if you ask me. But anyway, they obviously didn't ask me before they implemented them, so you should know these before you go, and hope that the drone permits aren't all sold out by the time you get to the station, because outside of Goblin Valley, not a whole heck of a lot of things to do. All right, let's talk about the campground here. Campground, $45. Drone permit, $15. So you're looking at $60 a day. It was considerably cheaper when I was there. And I don't remember the campground being $45 with no hookups. Okay. So, but anyway, that is the situation now. Now this is our trailer in the middle of the campground, back when you used to be able to fly drones in the campground. I'd like you to pay some attention If it's raining, see the spots circled in red, do not camp there. Do not reserve them. They are horrible. They are muddy. The water collects there. The green camp spots are much better. So anyway, here's some footage of Goblin Valley. And this is actually taken, this would be a legal bit of video in these days. But as you go through here, it's still a beautiful place to fly. You obviously want to time your arrival so that you've got a good chance to get a drone permit. And it is really a nice place. I've flown here 2 times so far, and I've really enjoyed both times. So anyway, as time goes on, I notice that in the drone world, things don't seem to be getting more open. They seem to be getting more closed. And again, I go back to the days of the Phantom 2 and the Phantom 2 Vision Plus, where you could pretty much grab your drone and fly wherever you wanted. You actually had to have some real piloting skills then, because flyaways were a real danger. But anyway, I know things have changed, and in my opinion, not for the better. But if you're a beginning droner, you'll probably show up here and you'll probably find that $60 a day for a camp spot without water or electricity, and the pleasure of flying your drone in a limited area will probably be pretty good. It kind of reminds me when I first started surfing in the 1970s, and me and my friends from school, we would hop in our cars and we'd go up to the best surfing spot in San Diego is called Black's Beach. And there's a submarine canyon offshore. It funnels these big waves, particularly in the summer, onto the beach. So generally we'll have the biggest waves, best form. So we'd go up there in the 1970s and surf there. And on a weekend there'd be 15 other guys there. On the weekdays, be maybe 4 or 5 guys. Females didn't surf that much back in those days, so it was mostly guys. And so if we showed up on a weekend and there are 30 people out, we'd say, man, this is a zoo. I don't want to surf here anymore. And then, but the young kids who are surfing there now, 100 people on a weekend is an average crowd. They don't know any better. So they think, okay, this is great. And I had a chance meeting with an oceanographer considerably older than I am. And when I told him my story about blacks, he began laughing. And he says, in the 1960s, me and 2 other guys from Scripps, we'd walk up there weekday or weekend, and there'd be nobody there. So as time goes by, the spot and the conditions under which you use the spot seem to be getting worse and worse. But if you're a newcomer to the sport, you don't realize it. So anyway, for all of you newcomers, please ignore whatever negativity I've put into this video and get out to Goblin Valley and enjoy it. And I hope you have a great time. And 20 years from now, I hope that Goblin Valley State Park hasn't restricted drone use even further. So again, thanks for watching the video. I hope you get something out of it. And I'm in the process of doing more videos on other state parks in Utah and other places around the world.